Why is Adam Selipsky stepping down as CEO? And should we be worried, I suppose, about the health of AWS?
I sure to listen to Amazon CEO Andy Jassy tell it. No, we shouldn't be worried. He said when he recruited Adam Selipsky, who was his right hand in building the AWS business, back to Amazon in 2021, they'd had a conversation, said, listen, give me a few years and get the next generation of leaders in shape, and then we'll talk later. Andy Jassy said Adam Selipsky is considering other challenges. We don't know what those might be. Nobody detailed that in their emails to staff today. We just know that he is out as of next month.
Some well-earned rest with family, it seems to insinuate, before he launches onto his next challenge. Remember, he was CEO of Tableau for an interim basis in his long career with Amazon. I'm interested, therefore, on who Matt Garman is. As we know, like, what, an MBA intern turns now one of the key executives.
That's right. So Matt Garman, he's a lifer at Amazon, joined in 2005 as an intern, 2006 as a full-timer, and led some of their initial services, helped set pricing, the first names for the products AWS put on the market. And since then, he's spent most of his time as an engineering leader. He was leading one of Amazon's most important divisions, the sort of computing power for rent group. And then back in 2020, he found himself running sales and marketing. And to a lot of AWS insiders, that really looked like he was getting set up to succeed Andy Jassy, the division's founding CEO. It turns out Andy brought back Adam Selipsky instead. But this isn't a surprise to anybody who's been following either Matt Garman's trajectory or AWS's.
The market was a bit worried. There was a knee-jerk reaction, if you call a percentage point decline a knee-jerk reaction, Matt. And I guess the idea is, what happens next for AWS? Because Adam Selipsky left that still accounting for the majority of operating income for the entirety of Amazon. And the new figure they're giving us is this run rate of $100 billion of revenue. Sum up where AWS sits today.
So AWS is the biggest cloud computing company, but that said, they've had a bunch of pressure put on them in the last year coming out of the pandemic. A lot of their biggest corporate customers were looking to cut costs. That dropped AWS's growth down to record lows. They've bumped up beyond that, which the market seems to like well enough. Market likes even more, though, that they have said that artificial intelligence revenue is starting to materialize. Last month, they said AWS is on pace for its a couple $1 billion business over the course of a year, which, that's not a particularly detailed number, but for a really, really hot corner of technology, it's a sign that Amazon is gaining momentum after really getting kind of beaten out of the gate in terms of generative AI services in the last couple of years. So AWS, still Amazon's cash cow, still accounts for the vast majority of their operating profit quarter to quarter. But that said, its business has been under pressure for the last couple of years, certainly.
And Matt, is it fair to characterize as it being beaten out the gate? Or is it that it just didn't use generative AI in its lexicon quickly enough? From your perspective, when we're anticipating what Google's about to unveil for today?
I think it's certainly a little bit of both. I mean, Amazon's been working on machine learning and AI services for years and years, as they will tell you. If you go back a couple of years to when OpenAI releases, the ChatGPT that shocks the world, Amazon wasn't really even talking in the same lexicon at that point. Generative AI wasn't in the conversation. And then when it came to embedding, generative AI products into services already on the market, Microsoft got there real quick, Google got there real quick. Amazon, caught up and is working to catch up further, I guess. But, I think it's pretty safe to say that, at least at the outset, they were a couple of steps behind.